Okay, thanks for coming everyone. Really do appreciate you coming to listen to all our Husts. So I've been, obviously as you know, the treasurer for the last year for the SJCR. In this role I've worked with the charity in a number of ways. I've acted as a trustee on our governing board. I've sat on various committees like ChairsCom, FICOM and most recently the selection board for Tier 1 Fashion Show Committee members. I've been present for some of the most important discussions and meetings of the year, and genuinely I've been extremely involved within the workings, with the workings of the SJCR on a day-to-day basis and on big occasions. This year I've given the charity a lot of my time, and while the treasurership is not the most immediately rewarding role in the SJCR, I've genuinely enjoyed playing a role in the charity and working for the interests of its members, you guys. I want to continue to do that. I believe that my experience on Tier 1 exec would be extremely valuable to the SJCR if I'm elected as VP, particularly regarding the trustee board. We could have as many as 8 out of our 9 trustees being replaced this coming year. I believe my experience as treasurer and trustee will be very useful to our governing body. I want to just sum up quickly and say that first, I do want to do this job for personal reasons. I love being involved in the SJCR and would love to carry on in an exec role, personally. However, I also think that I would do the SJCR a big credit as VP. I definitely think I'm the best candidate standing for the role. My experience with the SJCR, I believe, would make me very valuable to the charity and ultimately to you, its members. Thank you.
Questions? Cara?
As you pointed out, we could have as many as 8 people. Shame, people to see it. But should we be elected, that would mean that there were fewer because there would be at least 2 people staying on. Just to clarify, we're not going to get rid of everyone in one group. Anyway, so what do you see as being the biggest challenges of that role, and how would you respond to that?
In the trustee role?
Yeah, as in like being one of the 2 people who are staying on would be a challenge.
So I think that, obviously, as I said, I've got experience being on the trustee board. In terms of the most challenging role, being one of the only experienced members, perhaps, on the board, I don't see it so much as a challenge. I think it's a benefit in pretty much every way. I think that it might be challenging, perhaps, to work with a majority of people on the board who don't perhaps have that experience. But I think that, if anything, it's beneficial to have someone there, at least a few people there that do have experience on the board. I think particularly being treasurer this year and then hopefully going on to be VP trustee next year, I think it's very, very useful because I'll have that experience as treasurer going through with things like the accounts and the budget with whoever our new treasurer is. It would be very useful to have that experience on board.
As you know, last night we passed a procedural motion that you don't have to live in college, and that was passed with no issue. When we then passed or debated the welfare officer, it then became a concern that there might be 2 people not living in college. Because we've already passed that you're not going to live in college, what things would you do to help alleviate that you're not in college? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm living very close nearby next year, just behind the bus station. So I'm literally going to be 5 minutes away from college. This year, I'm probably one of the farthest out in the room. I'm right up in Gilesgate this year, and I managed to make it into college at least 3 times a week. I have to keep on top of my pigeonholes and stuff like that. I haven't found that problem. So I think next year is going to be easier, definitely. I'm planning to be in college at least 3 or 4 times a week. I'm planning to obviously attend meetings, and often those meetings will be at the same time or close to meal times. So I'm hoping to have meals in college as often as possible. So I'm going to make an effort to be in college as much as possible. I genuinely enjoy being in the Bailey room. So I think I'll make a habit next year of sitting in there when I've just got a little bit of work to do, working around my laptop so that people know I'm around. Just try and be as accessible as possible.
Okay. Any other questions? Joe?
As leader, you'll be working incredibly closely with president and other members of the Tier 1 and the rest of the exec. What do you think is important for fostering a positive relationship with those executive roles?
I think it's mostly down to interpersonal skills. I think that experience in the exec in general, or in exec role, would help a lot with that, and obviously I have that experience. I think it would be very useful to have someone there who has been on the exec before, who knows the ropes. Obviously we've got a few members this year who've had experience of being on the exec. You yourself had experience of being co-opted exec. So I think that is very useful because it allows people to really work together closely because they know that you have some experience and you can help them out in certain things. You know, as treasurer, I've not just had my work as treasurer, I've been involved in exec meetings and chairscom meetings. So I've been involved in generally most things that go on within the exec. So I feel like I've got a good view of, a good awareness of all the different roles in the exec. And so I feel like that would be good for inter-exec relations. And I think generally it's just about making yourself available, fostering good relationships and things like that.
Next. Oh wow, great. Jenny.
As Vice President, I'm sure Richard can testify, and I certainly can. You often have to deal with quite mundane practical problems that perhaps the majority of the student body would deem boring. You have to sit on those stereo committee once a week and listen to a lot of things about fire and mud and tidying up kitchens. How would you ensure the student body actually engaged with those important messages from the college officers?
So to clarify, is your question about communication?
Communication
Yeah.
about potentially mundane issues.
Okay. I want to say to start off with that Richard's done a fantastic job of that this year. I'm definitely going to steal some of his jokes and pretend like they're mine. I feel like being light-hearted but also serious is the way to go. I think that there can be a tendency to try and bombard people with really serious notices that are just going to be left unread or read. I think that it's about telling people what they need to know, but in a way that is going to engage them. And I think the messages the emails that our VP this year has put out have been really good, and I think that I'd like to try and emulate that. I think it's just about communication more than anything. Being light-hearted when you're trying to get messages across, but also focusing on those important, yet slightly mundane messages.
Right, let's have two more questions. Richard?
So obviously, aside from being a trustee of the charity, being an intermediary between the students and staff, attending meetings, being a welfare contact with the exec, aside from those things, possibly one of the most important things is the exec panto. And given that, I was interested to hear where you stood on that and whether you had any ideas, how confident you were about writing that.
I think, so one thing that I do want to slip in, because there's very few opportunities that I get, is that I actually have a A-level. It's a real A-level in creative writing. Accepted by London School of Economics as a valid A-level. So I genuinely love writing. So that's one of the things in the role I'm really looking forward to. Also, I'm not going to share any ideas with you just yet. But I actually think that you did a really good job this year. I think it's a really important event to have at the beginning, or at the end of Michaelmas, to try and negotiate, especially the freshers, with the exec. I think it's really important.
Okay, final question, Andrew.
And I'm also the vice president of... Sorry, Marie. Can we have two more so Marie can...
Oh, go on.
Go on, Marie can ask one then.
So, as a vice president, you will be in charge of the welfare of the exec members. How are you going to make sure that the exec members are okay and keeping up all their work? And yeah, how do you check that?
So I think, whilst I don't officially have an office, I would like to implement an open door policy, metaphorically. So I think I genuinely want to be available to people. I'm very happy to go and get coffee. I'm constantly in Starbucks. So I think that I just want to get it across to the members of the exec that, you know, I'm there for a chat. I also want to make it a big part of my role to keep on top of how their roles are going, so that I can, you know, get an idea of where they're at in terms of welfare, so that, you know, any problems that might arise can be nipped in the bud as early as possible, and we can keep tabs on any issues that might arise throughout the year in the exec.
You okay with your question, Andrew, or is it burning?
Oh, can I?
Wait.
So, as a VP of the charity, this leads on from Catherine and Marie's question. Living out, I also live out. There are times when you'll just not want to come into college, and yet you'll get an email from Martin Gibson or Claire Towns that says, can you just come in now and talk about this? As well as looking after other people's welfare, how would you look after yourself and make sure that actually you don't burn out in, say, the middle of February?
I think that's a lovely question. So I probably do tend to work too hard quite a lot of the time, and I have found this year as treasurer quite challenging. But I'm very much one for allowing myself to take some time when it's absolutely necessary. So yesterday was the first SJCR meeting that I've missed since halfway through my freshers year. Because I've got quite a bad cold at the moment, and I live all the way out in Gilesgate, and it was going to be a 25-minute meeting, so I was like, I think I'll skip this one. So I think it's important to take that time when you need it, when it's not an absolutely, you know, burning issue. But yeah, I think I'm not afraid that I'm going to burn out.
Right, thank you very much.